Hey guys, welcome back to the channel and welcome to a long-awaited speed build. I've been really wanting to share this with you guys for a long time. I pretty much started building this a month and a half ago. I finished a couple weeks ago and I got sick and I had some personal things going on, so my brain was all over the place, but I finally feel ready to do the voiceover today, so hopefully my voice can make it through it. As you can see, I have popped up the inspiration image on the screen right here. We are building a lovely witchy caravan in the world of Innisgreen, and I made it for a Apothecarist, or someone who's in the Apothecary career in this game. And I did get a chance to play with my playtester sim that I was using for this, and it was so much fun. So I really hope that you enjoy this speed build, and I hope that if you see it, you'll go to the gallery and download it. It is very playable. I playtested it for many a days because I wasn't ready to do the voiceover, and I figured I might as well do some extensive gameplay testing while I have the opportunity. But you'll see I pulled out some debug wheels from Businesses and Hobbies. They are actually like the collectible bicycle wheels. And I was a little worried that some of my sim would try to pick them up and put them in her inventory, but she did not, so we're good. I did size them up a little bit, and then I took these little wall decorations that kind of look like spokes, and I put them inside each of the wheels after I had angled everything with Toolmod to make sure it fit on this caravan. You'll also notice I built the caravan on a diagonal, which has its own set of issues, but I wanted a little bit more space, and I wanted it to be a little bit more interesting on the lot instead of just being horizontal or like vertical on the lot. I wanted it to be kind of at an angle. I did have to make a little bump out on the front porch for the stairs because you can't make stairs on a diagonal, which is so much fun. Can't wait until they never fix that. But I did get a chance to use a lot of the cool purple woodwork from the new Enchanted by Nature pack. I also used a lot of Life and Death because they actually have a lot of really cool textures and colors, especially for like the roof and the roof trim, and also the siding, which I end up picking like this really cool paneling that came with Life and Death. I thought it was just so much fun, and it definitely matched the inspiration image quite a bit. Also used some roof decorations, some from Life and Death and some from For Rent. I really like, I don't know what that shape is, but it looks like a V shape in the front, so I replicated that in the back as well. And there's also a little tiny back porch which mirrors the front porch, and it has a fake set of stairs that I end up making out of these benches from Outdoor Retreat. So I just stacked them on top of one another, and then I used Toolmod to raise them ever so slightly so they kind of look like steps, but they're not really steps. I just really enjoyed how that looked, and I tried to hide all of the little edges of things with some greenery and some debug landscaping, as I usually do, to make it look like this has been parked here for quite some time, but that it could pick up and leave whenever the owner is ready. I also really enjoyed using these columns from Get Famous. I don't think I've ever used them, but they're in this really pretty gold swatch, and I liked that it kind of matched the railing that I used on the porch. That is from Businesses and Hobbies as well. Also got a chance to pull out this lovely like awning thing and some vines and some really cool greenery that came with Enchanted by Nature. Also used these lovely curtains that came with Businesses and Hobbies in this purple tone. It's like a regal kind of purple. I thought it was really fun, and it has some gold ties on it, which I definitely think looks very witchy and apothecarist kind of. I don't know. I was trying to really channel someone who is very much into nature, very much into helping others, but is also kind of mysterious, you know, wants to be able to get up and go whenever they please, maybe doesn't like staying in one place for too long, but they have decided this magical realm is somewhere they would like to be because there's plenty of fairy dust and plenty of enchanted plants that they can use to craft all of their cures. I also wanted to pull out a bunch of wall decorations. So these are from Life and Death, I believe, and they're just kind of like these floral decorations. I did place them all over the exterior, and then I used Toolmod to adjust them just to make sure that they, you know, made sense where they were. And then the first room you come into is the little apothecary room. Basically, there's the apothecary table, there's a computer desk, there is a bookshelf, and then there is a little chair here. Now, I did put a computer in here. This one is from Cottage Living. I just thought it was nice because you can order apothecary ingredients from there. It kind of makes for easy gameplay. And there's also a little couch for talking to your customers who need some cures made. And there's also a little tiny back bedroom. But that is it for the Caravan. The rest is all outside. So that's pretty much the inspiration here. I think that the person who lives here, the sim who lives here, also enjoys kind of going on like a little bit of a nature excursion every now and again. I think that they like to bathe outside. I think sometimes they like to sleep outside. They're not committed to it. They have a bed, obviously, but sometimes they just feel the need to get in touch with nature. So they're not really committed to having a full kitchen in their home. And that's okay, because I do give this sim an outdoor kitchen. And I'll also upload my playtester sim that I made and that I used for this, because I think it was a lot of fun, like using all of the new items that came with the pack to craft a sim in CAS, which I'm not usually a huge fan of because CAS isn't my favorite thing in the world, but I had a lot of fun making this sim, so I hope that you enjoy it. Here you'll see I also made a little bit of terrain adjustment, and then I also added a little like pond slash creek in the front. I didn't want a moat, but I wanted it to look like there's a natural stream running through this lot, and it comes out of the mountain, out of some rocks. So I very carefully pulled out a bunch of little plants to kind of surround it and hide the slightly jagged edges. Also a bunch of clumps of grass that came with Enchanted by Nature debug and live edit, and some big bush pieces, and also some large trees. I think I used like this long tree stump thing, and then I used the shorter one. I tried to really make this look like it was an overgrown lot. And the sim just drove her Caravan onto it and said, yep, this will work out just fine. Also pulled out the new outhouse we got with the recent event. So that's exciting. If you haven't done it yet, please go do it. Here's the little entrance right here where the water starts coming out of these rocks. I used some regular debug live edit rocks, and I also pulled out some moss that I used tool mod to adjust to look like it was resting on top of those rocks, and some tall reeds and other plants to kind of frame that in. I thought that that looked really fun. Also pulled out some big mushrooms and also some clumps of wildflowers to really like kind of send it over the edge of being overgrown. And then I also wanted to add a bunch of stuff in and around the pond. So we have some mossy rocks, we have these very large lily pads that are coming up out of the water, and then we have some more of these very large plants, and I believe most of them are from the Enchanted by Nature pack, but I think there's also some from other packs as well, and base game. Like I said, it was a long time ago that I made this, so I'm trying to remember everything I included. I know I included a bunch of VFX with like the fish and the fireflies and the sparkly water, and I also used this little water feature from Horse Ranch, and I kind of put it next to the outhouse, like a little bucket to wash your hands in. And then the little fairy like pond thing, I put that actually inside the pond. I'm not sure if the fairies can actually use that or not. That is one thing I did not test because my sim was not a fairy, but I'm pretty sure they'll have no problem doing it, and my sim had no problem bathing in the water as well. I made sure it was deep enough and also not too deep that she could bathe in the water. And then I added some more rocks along the outside of the lot to kind of give a fence illusion, but not quite using a fence, if you know what I mean. I kind of wanted it to look like it was already there. She didn't build this fence. It just happened to be here when she got here. And also a lot of terrain paint. I utilized terrain paint a lot just to outline that the Caravan has been here a while, it's been parked here, and there's a lot of overgrowth of plants all around the tires. I think that makes, a good amount of sense for something that's been here for a long time. We also have a little garden section over here, so I made sure to level out the terrain and kind of move the planter boxes so your sim can get to where they need to. Pulled out this lovely mushroom over here by the pond, and then I also added some like little clumps of dirt, and I used tool mod to lower them down because the reeds were floating a little bit, and I wanted to give the illusion that the dirt kind of comes up out of the pond, and I thought that that made it look a little bit more natural and make more sense. Also adding more plants, of course, and I made a little walkway here from the front. I tried to make it as twisty and windy as I could, and also a little bit more blended in. I had to kind of layer a bunch of different terrain paints, so I hope that you enjoyed that. Also, if you do enjoy what you're seeing so far, please be sure to like and subscribe because it really helps me out. I've been gone for a little while, so I'd love to know what you guys think and how you guys have been. Have you been enjoying the pack? Did you get the pack? Did you not get the pack? Are you waiting for bugs? Were you waiting for ailments to get adjusted? Because I was certainly not enjoying that. I would love to hear from you because I have been playing behind the scenes. I just haven't been able to really put myself in a good mental space to like build and be creative. I had a very bad creative block because of the turmoil I have been in recently, but I'm feeling a little better. I'm not sick anymore, so also that's nice. Working on it. So any well wishes are very much welcomed. I appreciate it. There's also a little sink next to the outhouse, and then I used some debug and live edit wall pieces over here as well. I kind of tried to make it look like, again, very natural, like it was already here, and then she placed this outhouse here that she built herself. And then on this little mushroom, I thought it would be fun to pull out, there's like a little debug and live edit like fairy door, and I really enjoyed that. So you'll see it in a little bit, but I pull it out of debug and live edit and I try to position the fairy door to look like it goes into the mushroom, like that the mushroom is its own fairy house. There is not a fairy house on this lot, I'm pretty sure. I'm almost 100% sure there's not, because I did not make this lot for a fairy specifically, and I didn't want fairies coming here and just sleeping for no reason. Also, the inside of this lovely caravan is still very green, very purple. I used some wallpapers from Life and Death and some from Enchanted by Nature. I love the ceiling lights that are kind of like the branches with the fun petals on them, so I overuse those a whole bunch. And I also put a little table out here on the back deck, and I place a little chair, and I believe I also put the flower press book back here as well, just a little added activity for your sim to do. And then some more of the climbing flower lights on the back deck to add a little bit more light. I also did add some standard, like in front of the door lights. I'm not sure when, but I do add those eventually. I just don't remember exactly when in the video I add those. So I also add some outdoor lighting too, some like little posts all throughout the lot so that there's a good amount of light. There's also some decoration on this back porch, like some paintings and stuff, because I thought it would look nice. And also over here in the Apothecary section, I put up some plants and some more paintings. I just wanted it to look really cute and really lived in, and like the Apothecarist sim that lives here takes great joy and pride in what she does. And there's also a little tiny like Gandalf looking gnome. I thought that was so fun, so I placed him out front. He helps sometimes with the gardening. And then here's that fairy door I was talking about. I got a little ahead of myself because I thought I did it sooner, but here's a little fairy door. I'm just using tool mod to adjust the height and kind of try to scoot it into the mushroom so that it looks like it's its own fairy house, which is so fun. And then here's some more outdoor lighting and some landscape lighting to kind of brighten up the place, because it was a little bit dark and I want you to be able to see everything, especially if your sim is harvesting or crafting at night. And I'm not 100% sure if I show it on camera or not, but I do have a little outdoor kitchen. So there ends up being the grill from Horse Ranch, and I believe just a little table and chairs from, I think I used the table and chairs from this pack, from Enchanted by Nature, because I think that they match really well outside. And then I wanted to add a little bit more wall here, so I used tool mod to just kind of ever so slightly lower it into the ground, make it look like it was coming out of those other large rocks. We have the mailbox from the new pack, and then the trash can is from Get Together, because it is the most natural and not plastic looking trash can in the game. I wish they would have given us a new trash can of some kind, because other than a barrel and this trash can, I don't really think there are any that look natural and like that you can kind of hide in an environment like this. But I digress. Now we are adding more and more of this landscaping. Now some of it came with Enchanted by Nature, which is what you're seeing now. I was having a hard time finding a lot of the landscaping, and then I remembered most of it is not in the regular landscaping menu. So I did find it, but here is some footage of our sim. She is bathing up front here in her little pond, and her home is just sitting so lovely. It's just so pretty. I love this environment. I love the fact that you can interact with nature so much. The bathing in the water, the sleeping on the ground. You can cook outdoors. You can forage for things. You can forage for food or ingredients. I think it's just a lot of fun. So I very much enjoyed this one, and I hope that you did as well. Enjoy the screenshots. Let me know if there's anything else you'd like to see next. Thank you for joining me for this very short video, and I'm glad that you guys stuck around and waited very patiently for this, because it took me a very long time. And yeah, so I'll see you guys next time. Thanks so much. Please be sure to like and subscribe, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye, guys.